evening, everyone. I'm thrilled to be here, uh, but I'm going to kind of have a little misnomer. I just got off of a 14-hour road trip from Iowa. So if at any point I look cross-eyed or I stumble over my words or anything like drooling on the side of my mouth, it's just because exhaustion is finally kicking in and catching up with me. But to be honest, if there was anything to keep me going, talking about the city and its future and the budget always kind of gets me excited. If that sounds a little nerdy, it is, but it is true. And for those who are tuning in, we really appreciate you partaking in our budget process. Very important. These are some of the most important meetings that the city does throughout the year because it actually gives us feedback as well as give you the opportunity to know why we spend the dollars we do and what are the missions and goals that we are aiming for as we prioritize our budget. And the next steps, there's another in-person meeting that we'll have, and then there'll be a number of public hearings that we have all geared to having feedback from the public and also with the elected officials. So with that being said, let's go ahead and dive in. So to start, I kind of we usually start with a strategic plan. If you know anything, I'm relatively new to the city and kind of inherited the budget process midstream. Typically, the strategic planning process is quasi handled as a separate piece, but is also very critical in helping establishing the priorities that turn into the budget and also the capital improvement plan. So for us, I kind of took a number of items from previous strategic plans because we haven't had one since I believe it was 2021 or 2020. And so what I call this slide is inspired by actually a number of the strategic plans that I have heard City Council talk about, staff talk about, and view as probably still very important for the community. So inspired by our last strategic plan, there's a number of focus areas that really guide us in our budget preparation this year. And so starting off, public safety and community well-being, um, very important. You'll see some budget enhancements that we're recommending to kind of take on that focus area. Infrastructure maintenance is always important, especially for a community that's older, but also that's near a major metropolitan area because the demand of vehicles and equipment and large heavy equipment things, those things are traveling back and forth on to and back and forth through to the metro, both the airport, also Atlanta, and those kind of things put a lot of wear and tear on roadways. So having a strong, robust maintenance program is also very important for a community like ours. Employee compensation is also going to be something that we'll talk about. And there's some things that was done last year, and there's some things that we're looking at continuing from those investments into our next fiscal year, and we'll talk about that. Neighborhood revitalization, also very important, and we'll talk about some of the things that we're doing to stabilize our neighborhoods. Also, sustainable growth, economic growth is also important. So, having a strong economic development plan is really protects our revenue, helps with overall sustainability through our various programs and activities. One of the really exciting things going on here in the city is our Parks and Rec department, and we've certainly appreciate that. We're one of the recognized as one of the best Parks and Recs department in the state, and keeping at that level takes investment, and we'll talk about through some of those things. I think some of the things that's kind of dear to me that also played a big role, I think, and what made me an attractive candidate for the city council is my desire to be transparent, focus in on equity, and wanting to have strong public engagement. So definitely wanted to talk about how we're doing some investments in those areas. Next slide. Okay, so for fiscal year 2026, some of our budget highlights. So this is where the budget enhancements that I had talked about, particularly with public safety and community well-being. With public safety, we're recommending investing $2.7 million in police vehicles, which we're utilizing a finance purchase option to get a number of vehicles. We're also doing a finance lease purchase for fire equipment and vehicles, ambulance, a ladder truck, and other fire apparatus. But one of the kind of the really exciting things that we're looking to roll out is a public safety drone program. And so we kind of talked about some of the challenges of being next to a major metropolitan area like Atlanta, and issues like crime definitely affect us. So some of the things that we're doing is utilizing technology to help us stem some of those challenges. With the public safety drone program, it'll allow us to strategically place drones around the city that will connect with our 911 calling center and automatically go out to directing the drone to go to those areas. And so the program is actually based off of programs that's being done in Dunwoody and also Brookhaven. And those drones can get to the scene before squad cars can get there. So roughly 90 seconds, we'll be able to put eyes on the scene and allow once the police officers get to the scene, be able to have that camera footage being downloaded to their phones and vehicles to assess situations, and actually help with safety, but also give us the type of clarity to find suspects and things of that nature. So we're really excited about that. Some of the other budget enhancements are in infrastructure maintenance, and we have a number of capital improvement projects that range from sidewalks to street improvements, and roughly putting in $15.5 million in that with T-SPLOS and LMIG projects. Water and sewer infrastructure, we're at $14.9 million in investments, and electric infrastructure, hopefully building our resiliency and our grid and other things at $10.4 million. Stormwater infrastructure, $2.3 million, and solid waste garbage truck replacement, we have at $379,000. Budget enhancements continue with infrastructure maintenance. uh, with some of our facilities. So we're looking at our municipal building improvements of $3 million. That's going to include our city annex, customer care, Grove Avenue, Jefferson Park Recreation Center, Law Enforcement Center, and Court. And we'll talk more, even more about our Parks and Rec, but we have Parks and Rec improvements that's $16.3 million. And as many of us know, we also are working through design for a multiplex recreational center. That's already been financed and approved in this current fiscal year. But as we move forward to next fiscal year, we're going to be getting prepared for having bond proceeds cover whatever is designed and whatever we agree to spending for our recreational center. Budget enhancements continue on with our investments in our employee compensation. Here we are bringing in phase two of phase one that was done the previous year, where we had taken the hybrid parity model and rolled that out for our frontline employees. And phase two is dealing more with our mid-management and senior management level employees. And so that estimated cost is going to be approximately around $3.3 million. And that's going to be across all funds. And also wanted to highlight our continued efforts in working in our job fairs, working with area colleges and universities to establish apprenticeships and internship programs that we're are also going to be doing. So continuing budget enhancements in our neighborhood and revitalization and housing stability. Our budgetary support in enhancing our rental assistance, our mortgage assistance, our utility bill assistance, and rapid rehousing, particularly for families that are unhoused. Our original budget was 287,000, and we are increasing that, recommending that to be increased to 350,000. One of the things that we're also kicking off is a stronger, robust efforts in housing stability enhancements in a form of investments for our home repair program. Our original budget is only $20,000 in that area, and we're recommending moving that to $250,000. Our budget enhancements and sustainable economic growth. We see some of the things that we're able to do with some of the ARPA dollars. So we're going to want to continue those efforts with small business through our economic development department, and recommending the budget is $600,000 for that. Next slide. Looking at our environmental stewardship and our park enhancements, continuing investment to really ensure that we keep our top ranked parks, and we're looking at Sumner Park, Center Park, and Colonial Hills Park, promoting community wellness and recreation, and funding is dedicated to our trail connectivity, park programming, green space preservation. And again, I mentioned this number before, we're recommending $16.3 million in those activities. Budget enhancements also include what I was kind of mentioning earlier on beefing up and keeping strong what we're doing in areas of transparency, equity, and public engagement. our C-Click Fix. It has been well received, and we're recommending continuing that. There's a little bit of uptick in those costs, but those are really slight uptick. But the city roughly pays 80% of that cost, and 20% is paid with our partnership through the Atlanta Airport Community Improvement District. Also, our eyes in the sky, again, feeding also into some of the efforts that we're doing with some of our fighting crime, our real-time crime center, which is going to utilize and be able to feed into 250 cameras citywide that are coupled with multiple business cameras in order to really be able to help us with um, solving crimes and keeping an eye on how things are going on in the city, with the focus to reduce crime. So the other thing, so our legislature has been busy, and they've passed something called House Bill 581, and I wanted to kind of take a little second to talk about this, particularly in the area of transparency, equity, and public engagement. This is one of those kind of tax laws that is really geared to help residents, and so the state would we basically take a floating homestead exemption, and the floating homestead exemption is a special type of homestead exemption designed to offset or reduce increases in taxable value of the property, basically putting a cap on how much that your property can be assessed. The taxable value may only increase to a certain level, a rate that is equivalent to inflation each year, essentially controlling how much the value of your home can be increased, thus keeping your taxes at a very reasonable rate. Homeowners who are already granted homestead will receive this exemption automatically, and non-home homestead properties, i.e. Commercial, will continue to be valued at the fair market rate. Next slide. So I wanted to take just a moment because we always maybe sometimes forget some of the exciting things that our community has, and I spent a fair amount of time talking about and bragging on our parks. Is really exceptional, but it's also not just the green spaces, but it's the people and the programs, and so. Introducing East Point's first ever Miracle League program, created a place for every child, regardless of their ability, to experience the joy of baseball in the community. And that was just a great success. Also, Playcore Egan Park had been proudly recognized by Playcore as a national demonstration site, setting the standards for inclusive, innovative, and impactful play spaces in East Point. Area Vibes is a analytic firm out of Toronto, and they kind of focus in on livability rankings of communities nationwide. And they've ranked our public parks as A+, which is the highest ranking you can get. So again, I'm not just saying that we're got like the best parks in the state just because it sounds good. There's actually data to back that up. And all city parks now feature ADA accessible playground equipment, ensuring that children of all abilities can play, explore, and thrive together. So just some great kudos that I think we can sometimes lose track of, that I really want to make sure that we highlight those in the budget. Some other operational bright spots is with our infrastructure, and particularly our water resources department, which have been just doing yeoman's work in seeking out federal grants and making sure that our infrastructure needs get funding from the federal government. And so there's been a number of improvements and upgrades, water infrastructure upgrades like replacement of some of our degraded raw water lines, water treatment plant renovations, water line replacement, and other upgrades. And stormwater system enhancements, stormwater upgrades. We've got funding of $2.1 million. And in water infrastructure improvements, funding of $2.5 million, support from the Georgia Environmental Finance Authority, locations, Sylvan Road, Plant Street, and Dunlap Avenue, and so others. Reserve and dam replacements, Ben Hill Reservoir repairs, Sweetwater Dam, and pumping station upgrades as well. Our other operational bright spot that I think also doesn't get enough attention is the fact that we have literally one of the best fire departments in the state. The ISO is a rating that has a connection to your home insurance, and a rating of 1 is actually pretty doggone rare. And so our fire department has that rating of 1, which actually creates savings in your insurance payments, which are reflected in your escrow, your mortgage payments. And so I did a little of average of, obviously it's totally dependent on your particular household, but just to kind of give a real quick rule of thumb, the savings of being in being in a community that has a fire department of ISO 1 is roughly $1,500 over a 10-year period, like annually $150 in your wallet that you would normally spend if you had a higher ISO. And if you had a bad ISO, it would even be that much more of a difference. But not only do you benefit for having the assurance and confidence of having outstanding fire department, but it also affects your wallet as well. Next slide, please. So all fund summary. This is just overall general fund, 70.5 million. Condemned $250,000, E911. $1.7 million school zone, red speed cameras, 15,000, restricted grants, 8 million, 8.8 million, grants, roughly 212,000, hotel motel, $5,600,000 there, TAD corridor, 1.5 million, CAP projects, 23 million. T-Splosh, 13 million. The 50 worth properties, 372,000. City Hall, 933 K, and water sewer, 37 million there. electric 56 million, storm water utility 3.7 million, and solid waste 5.2 million.
I can
Total.
take it from here if you'd like me to, Mr. City Manager.
You can. Are we getting into the numbers, or was there another? I thought there was another slide, but maybe.
We're moving
Oh,
into the
okay.
numbers.
All right. Well, okay. Sorry. So
No, you're
that's why I started to gloss over, because I was like, oh, I was thinking something else was happening. But I will introduce Elizabeth Cartwright, who is our budget manager and play a key role in our finance department. She's going to walk us through some of the other statistics.
Thank you, Mr. City Manager. Welcome, everyone. So we're going to go right into the general fund revenue source. We're going to start with property taxes, where that's 26.2 million. It's roughly 37%. Local option sales tax is bringing in about 14.3 million at 20%. We've got license and permits at 4.6 million. And that is, let's see, license and permits. I got that at 7%. Fines and forfeitures, that's 1.1 million, and that's 2%. Franchise taxes, 853,000 at 1%. And let's see, we got other taxes, 5.4 million. Charges for services is 1.2 million, and other revenue is 16.6 million. Other revenue consists of intergovernmental revenue, contributions, investment income, and other miscellaneous revenue and transfer ends. We got general fund expenditures, where city council / city clerk is 2.3 million. Executive is 6.6 million. That consists of the mayor's office, the city manager's office, communication, legal, equity, inclusion, and empowerment. Also, we have administration at 14.7 million. Administration includes finance, accounting, purchasing, tax, HR, building and grounds, facilities, and operations, and 50 worst properties, also as well as E911 funds. Judicial is 1.4 million. We got police at 22.3 million, fire at 13.4 million, public works at 2.9 million, parks and recreation at 3.4 million, planning and community development at 2 million, and economic development at 1.1 million, with overall of 70,505,915 for the general fund expenditures. Next, we're going to talk about capital budget priorities, water and sewer infrastructure, improvements to the existing parks and recreation, also improving the aging municipal buildings, new paving, sidewalk improvements around the town, and removing of blight and substandard buildings. So first, we're going to look at the FY 2026 capital project highlights. We want to talk about public service. The proposed expenditures look at 21.4 million. Public utilities is at 28.1 million. Public safety is at 1.6 million. Culture and recreation is at 16.3 million, with the total proposed capital expenditure of 67 million. And I have my little graph down here. So public service looks at about 32%. Public utilities is 42%. Public safety is 2%. And culture and recreation is 24%. All right, let's talk about water resources. The proposed revenue for water resources, charges for service and water is 13.5 million. Charges for service and sewer is 8 million. Municipal option sales tax is 6.5 million. Other financing sources consist of GFA loans, proceeds, and fund balance is 8.7 million, and then miscellaneous revenue is 219,000. Also, for water resources, the proposed expense is salaries and benefits, we're looking at 4.8 million. Operations is approximately 14.2 million. Capital projects is 14.9 million. Debt service is 2.9 million with a total expense of 37 million. For the electric fund, the proposed revenue, the electric system, we're looking at 43.9 million. Electric distribution is 4.2 million. Miscellaneous revenue is 2.6 million. And other financing sources is 5.4 million. All right, for proposed expenses, I'm sorry. Yeah. The stormwater fund, proposed revenue fee is for fee charges is 2.5 million. Other financing sources is 1.2 million, and the total revenues is 3.7 million. For the stormwater fund, proposed expenses, salaries and benefits are 540,416. For operations is 784,121. And capital projects are 2.3 million, with a total expense of 3.7 million. All right, so for solid waste, proposed revenue, charges and for services is 4.1 million. Other financing sources is 295,411. Miscellaneous revenues 833,000 with a total revenue of 5.2 million. All right, solid waste for proposed expenses, salaries and benefits, 2.4 million. Operations is 2 million. Capital projects is 379,325, and debt service of 387,316 for a total expense of 5.2 million. And also our department head contact list, should anyone would like to get out, reach out to any one of our contacts. The list is here. Mr. City Manager.
Great, thank you. Yeah, I know I wanted to take just a second just to talk a little bit about my plans for our capital improvement plan. So as a part, I talked a little bit about the future budget. As we move forward, we'll be looking at doing more of a priority based budgeting process. And as a part of that, spending more time isolating out our capital improvement plans and actually looking out potentially a 5-year outlook of where we see our capital improvement needs being and where we are now so that we can make steady investments in our overall vision and goal for certain capital improvements. But capital improvements are being invested in this year, but we're looking at having a little bit more of a planning process that will then feed into our overall priority budgeting practice for our next year. So just wanted to kind of lay a little bit of that groundwork as we get past this budget, but then also look at future budget practices. So with that, I would love to have any questions or any Q&A sections here, and then we can also do some introductions to our staff that we have online as well. And I also want to appreciate you heard from Elizabeth, but I also want to recognize Taffany and Shannon as they have been key in helping prepare our budget this year. So with that, is there any questions?
Mr. City Manager, there are no questions in the Q&A section.
Okay. Well, let's take the moment to offer staff to give introductions of who they are and what they do, and if there's anything else they want to share that share with the public, that'd be great too. I can call
Well,
on.
hello, everyone.
Yeah,
Hi.
there you go.
I'm Kimberly Smith. I'm the director of the Planning and Community Development Department. In our department, we had just a 7% slice of the pie and revenues that was showed on the screen. We do permits, we take in all permits, we review plan reviews that lead to permits, we do inspections, and we also are over community development in referencing to implementing our zoning ordinance and our comprehensive plan, which we recently updated within the last couple of years.
Thank you, Director Smith.
Good evening. My name is Dermot Lawrence. I'm the interim contracts and procurement director. We deal with solicitations, purchasing items and services for the city. We also enhance vendor relationship through promoting participation with these solicitations. And so we're the guys that take care of not just the city in itself, but vendors, assisting them with acquiring business through the city.
Thank you, Interim Director Lawrence.
Charles Moore here. With solid waste, we pick up all garbage and trash throughout the city, and we monitor and provide commercial service to for private haulers within the city. And we also provide dead animal collection, recycle collection through private company, and we do bulk amnesty on call. Thank you.
Good evening, Jeffrey Reeves, Public Works Director. I think I have Joseph Miller's name underneath me, and I think because he sent me the email, but I'm Jeffrey Reeves, Public Works Director, and we handle transportation, our buildings and grounds, our construction, road construction with your potholes and street signs, and that's us in Public Works.
Thank you.
Good evening, Maceo Rogers, Department of Economic Development, where we market, promote, and sell the city for new business investment, growing the city's tax base, and ultimately increasing the quality of life for all of East Point citizens.
All right,
Iris.
Rogers.
Iris Jesse, HR Director, and we manage the city's resources, human resources, which is composed of about 33% females and 67% males. Our average tenure is about 6 years, and the average age of our employees is 43 and a half years.
Thank you, Director Jesse. I don't know if I ever heard those statistics before, so it's very enlightening.
Yes, sir.
All right.
I'll go. This is Shalord. I'm also Joseph Miller, based on based on the Zoom call. But I'm Shalord Pinkett. I'm the Parks and Recreation Director. We're over all of recreational programming, managing the park lines, public arts. Is under my division. We also have an athletic and education division that's under Parks and Recreation. I know there's a lot of conversation regarding the rec center. I guess my shameless plug would be we have our first community meeting on May 8th from 4 to 7:30 at Jefferson Rec. And we will also have our second meeting on May 13th from 4 to 7:30 at the Georgia Sports Complex, which is also known as the Georgia Soccer Park.
you.
All
All
right,
right.
City Manager, I'll go ahead. This is Michael Dimick. I am the Interim Director of Communications, and our department handles public information and media relations. We handle digital and social media management, internal communications, community engagement, branding and messaging. We also handle video production and streaming, as well as graphic design and publications, website management, and emergency and crisis communications.
Thank you, Interim Director. Director Etodea?
I know, I'm sorry,
You're
another
Jo-
Joseph Miller here, but good evening. My name is Melissa Echeverria. I am the Water and Sewer Director for the City of East Point. I'm responsible for the overall maintenance, operation, and function of our drinking water supply, our water distribution system, our wastewater system, and our stormwater conveyance system. And so, per City Manager Jones, we have a lot of capital infrastructure projects working on sustainable infrastructure, as well as compliance with new drinking water regulations. So we have a lot of work and a lot of grant opportunities available to us in the next year.
Thank you. And our police chief.
Hello, everyone. I'm Sean Buchanan, Chief of Police for the City of East Point Police Department. I'm tasked with keeping the city safe. Thank you.
All right.
Hello.
Is that everyone?
The fire department.
Oh, yeah. There you go. Deputy Chief.
So I'm Sidney Gooden. I'm your logistics officer for the East Point Fire Department, and I'm in charge of the budget and the procurement of all the equipment and personnel uniforms and everything.
All right. Well, I'm Shannon Golden. I'm the interim finance director over finance operations of the city. That includes revenue collection, and includes accounts payable, budget, financial reporting. We also support all other departments here in the city.
And I'm Frank Whitfield. I work out of the Office of Equity, Inclusion, and Empowerment, and my focus is on housing. As was mentioned earlier, the home repair program for seniors and veterans. That's a program that's managed out of our office. So glad to be here.
Thank you. All right. Did we get everyone?
Is that everyone? If so, I would like to recognize Mr. City Manager. We do have a council member on the attendee side, and there is a question from the council member.
Okay.
So the question is regarding the capital improvement plan, what are we going to be spending on in this next fiscal year? And I will unmute them so that she's able to talk. Councilmember Ziegler.
Hi.
Hello, Carrie. How are you?
Good. How's everybody?
Good.
Good.
Yeah, no, that was
Great.
my question.
So Elizabeth, you want to roll back to the capital improvement slide?
Sure.
Oh, I'm sorry, I may have missed it.
No, it's okay. We like talking about capital improvements.
Go back one more. No, the other direction. There we go.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So
no, you go ahead, Shannon.
Councilman Ziegler, did you have a question in particular?
Yeah, so it's good to see the numbers and all, but like I see that there's some different departments, things like that, but like what's behind the numbers? Like what is it that we're actually getting that we can go back to the public and say, hey, we're like, we're spending this money to improve your life here.
Okay. Um, as it relates to like the categories or the asset types, pretty much 15 million is for the new Metroplex. That's tentative upon bond proceeding. We have about 3.3 million in building improvements. Machinery and equipment, we spending about 779,000. Vehicles, we're spending about 2.4 million across different governmental funds. So park improvements, we got 867,000. Technology upgrades, we have a 343,000, and roads and pavements about 16 million.
Okay.
Okay. And then that's on the governmental side, but then on the enterprise side, you got 28 million, 28.2 million that's split between various asset types again. So when you look at the machinery and equipment, we're spending about 1.7 million. Electrical infrastructure is 9.5 million. Building improvements of 1.4 million. Water treatment plant of 4.6 million. Water, sewer line, meter, and technical services, we're spending about 6.6. In vehicles for enterprise funds, we're spending about 1.9 million, almost 2 million. AMI technology upgrades, we've got about 200,000 there, and then we're spending about 2 million in stormwater.
Okay. Can we go back and talk about electric real quick?
You said electrical,
Yeah.
expenditures?
Well, no, for the capital projects. So I know that we're doing the grid hardening project, and I think I had asked last year about changing some of our intersections from traffic lights being hung on the wires to actually being mounted on the metal mast arms. Like
Right.
is that what we're doing this next year, or like?
Yes, I spoke with the department head. They do have that in the budget. It's I can get you a dollar amount here. Hold on just one second. It's about 800. They have about, it's 1.5 million in that project, and they have that as a project to change those they have those big long arms. Is that what you're talking about with the traffic intersections?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they do have that in the budget for next
Okay. And then for police, are we getting like the new like ADA compliant 911 system where you can like text message instead of call, or
year.
like?
We are upgrading our E911. I think the chief is on the call. Chief, can you answer that?
Yes. How you doing today, Councilwoman Ziegler?
Oh, I'm
So
doing good.
good. I'm glad you asked that question. We're updating the 911 center right now, but come July, what we're doing is the state of Georgia is going to require very shortly everyone has a smart 911 in the next couple of years. So we're jumping ahead of it to make sure we're in compliance now. So you'll be able to text. Now this infrastructure takes a little bit of time, but it's in our budget to update that. So we'll probably start in July, August. And I'm not sure how long it'll take, but it will definitely be in the process of being upgraded. So hopefully, give or take January, I would say that should be done.
Okay. And then are we doing anything with 'cause I think that there's some technology out there that I think it's for like all emergency vehicles that it's like attached to the stoplights. So if it detects like an ambulance, well, a police car or fire truck driving down the street, it will automatically change the street light.
So I know exactly what you're talking about. I've seen them in certain areas. We haven't done that yet, but that's a good idea and that's a good technology. And the reason we haven't done, I just haven't gotten with the electrical to find out exactly what it would take to have that in there. I think that's a very good technology. So what I would do is I do some more research, and based on our revenue that we bring in from different various operations, we'll take a look at it as well.
Okay.
Thank you. That's very good. Thank you very much for that.
Sure.
I'm also a little familiar with that, and I think those are going to need to be connected to those poles. So as we transition our intersections to the pole systems, those are the technologies that we'll be able to explore.
Okay, cool. And gosh, I had something and then it lost it. What else was it? Oh, um, given, the uncertainty of what's going on kind of everywhere in the world, and knowing that we have our own utilities, we have our own water and our own power and things like that, and how these departments could be a source of like cyber attacks. Um, are we like preparing or like, I don't know, trying to make, IT and cybersecurity even more robust than it is now, to make sure that we're all protected?
I'm going to, well, I know that I've been a part of discussions with our new IT director about that very issue. I believe he may have been advocating for a person that would be specialized in that area. I'm not sure where we wound up if we approved that position or not. So
Okay.
I'm looking at my finance folks to remind me if we did or not.
I know he did put in
That's
for
all.
a senior um programming analyst there, so I think that is on this list, a cybersecurity person.
Yes.
The prior finance director, the prior IT director did put in infrastructure stuff for our our systems. However, cybersecurity stretches into different things. You can have it all the way into utilities where, you got hackers that go into utilities as well as other areas. So it's something that's on the agenda for the IT director, but is Don on?
I didn't see him.
Okay.
And part of the challenge when we hired our IT director, it was a lot of the budget stuff had already went past. So he was playing catch up in trying to get some things into the budget. And I think overall we're very supportive of those things. It's just on the timing factor, we may not have been able to get everything in there right away. But I know that there's some software that was a part of the InterDove contract that has security measures, and I'm just not 100% sure if we had put in for us because he did some reorganization as well, and I'm just not 100% sure if that's security person was funded this time or not. But I'm 100% sure if it wasn't, that it will be next go around when we figure out all the IT needs.
Okay. And then, oh, go, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, Councilmember Ziegler, but I didn't know if the two that had their hand raised had any input into that. It was both Joseph's hands that were raised. I'm not sure who it was.
I just was going to highlight that we do require employees to do fraud training quarterly. And we did institute the Barracuda, which helps to monitor fraud risk and attempts
Barracuda, yeah.
And then in terms of the water system, as everything gets better and better, right? We love that, and we love the automation of having a SCADA system. But the East Point water treatment plant was built in 1950. So the good thing is my operators can always take it offline, but we do have safeguards in place with our current system. And we're constantly attending conferences and working with the IT director to make sure of that. But in the event something does happen, the plant can operate manually, not necessarily off of a system, or if we have any type of attacks or anything going on. So we can do that manually.
Okay, thank you so much. And I think I have just one more question. I'm sorry to take up so much time. So something that I've seen is that I think we have like an 18% vacancy across the departments in the city. Do we have anything in the budget going in this next fiscal year that will help promote these positions that are vacant and try and get these positions filled? Like, do we have any, I don't know, like job fairs or any advertising? Because, like, I mean, advertising itself can be kind of expensive. Um,
So, if Councilman Ziegler, let me just jump in real quick. So, what normally we do for the police departments, we put it in our budget for advertising, and that is dedicated for us promoting job fairs and things of that nature. As a matter of fact, we do about 2 big job fairs a year. I don't know how many we'd have to do next year because we're almost full. We're literally about 4 officers short. So, but we do put it in the police budget, and I also know other departments has advertised as well. But maybe someone else want to speak more about that.
okay, so it sounds like that it's more of the department, like the individual departments, and not like HR that's responsible for that.
But Miss
Well,
Iris has her hand raised,
Oh,
for the HR director.
Yes, we do work individually with departments because some of the departments have specialized needs that means that a job advertised in the Georgia Local Government Personnel Association, GLGPA, may not attract the water resources staff who often have to be certified. I would say the same thing with electric. And of course, Chief just talked about police officers. Those people don't normally go on sites like that. We are working with the IT department because their work is specialized as well. Their employees often have certifications or specialized knowledge in various technology operations such as cybersecurity. So we work with them individually to advertise in their trade journals. And we do have funds budgeted in human resources for that.
okay.
There's another Joseph Miller hand raised. I don't know if they had any input.
That was Melissa.
Oh,
I
Melissa.
was just going to indicate that the Water Resources Department, we just completed the Workforce Development Grant where any resident in the Tri-Cities area, we taught them and certified them in water skilled trades and also employed many of them once they completed that program. And we just went to a career fair at Tri-City. So we do participate in career fairs and we do advertise accordingly. So for us, we try to put those positions on the Georgia Association of Water Professionals website for those trades that are required to be certified. But most people, when we get them here, we do training and we do get our staff certified. So you don't necessarily have to have it, but you have to have some background in science.
Got it. Thank you. All right. That's all I had. Thank you so much, everybody. Love the work everyone's doing. If you need something, contact Councilman Adkins. I'm kidding. Um, but anyway, it's been great, y'all. Take care. Bye.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank you.
All
There
right,
are
Tess.
no more questions in the Q&A.
Okay. All right. Well, since I don't have any funny stories on my road trip, I'm going to let everybody enjoy the rest of their afternoon. So with that, thank you all for participating, and we are adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Good night.
Thank you.
Good night.